Tell me, whoa, whoa, whoa. Tell me, whoa, whoa.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Tell Me More. So, what are we going to tell you this time? More. Let's have a look at that. As someone who has spent years with educators, parents, and young learners, I have seen anxiety building all the time around them before and after the examinations, and especially so during result season. But today we want to talk about the hidden pressures that lie underneath those numbers. For this, I have with me Mr. Harsh Pandya, a Mumbai-based psychologist and counselor associated with Mentoring Minds Counselors. Our second guest today is Ms. Gandhali Samant, who works at Microsoft as IT professional and has been a very old VIBGYOR parent. Her daughter was the Cambridge A-level topper this year, and she has lived the board result pressure and seen fellow parents handle it in their own ways. And I think this combination is going to make for something really worth listening to. So let's get into it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gandhali, we recently got all the results of all the boards. And on one side, when we are extremely proud of our children, we also understand the kind of pressures they must be going through. It must be quite an experience as a parent to go through all that with your child. Can you share some of your experiences with us?
Sure, ma'am. Actually, I think what we always did was we never considered the exam years as exam years. The atmosphere at home was always normal. We did all the normal things like going on vacations, going out on weekends, having food outside. So the kids never felt that I have to do something differently. It's a part of a life, right? So they have to understand that exam is just a snapshot, not a full story in your life. Secondly, I think what we also did is since very young age, we focused more on their learning experiences, the fun they are having at learning, encouraging the curiosity, making sure that they are putting the efforts, and results or grades are functions of all of these things, right? So don't focus on results, just do your best was something I think we did for both our children since a very young age. So they were never focused on results. There were times when they would get less marks in class tests and all, and the only question we would ask is, have you learned what you did wrong? And they said, yeah, I think teachers explained. I said, that's fine, perfectly fine. So I think it's very important that kids should know that we value them for who they are and it's not about what they score. I think if you ingrain that in your kids, I think half the pressure would go down there and then itself.
Wow, I think you are one of those rare parents, and I think for that, Harsh, I should be talking to you whether you have faced this kind of parenting in your career as a counselor, or are you, do you more often meet parents who are not as composed as Gandhali?
Thank you, ma'am. So when we talk about hidden pressures, especially, and what we have observed is there are different types of personalities when it comes to parenting, and there are different types of people who expect certain things from their kids. When we especially listen to ma'am, and as she said, that the most important expectation is if the kids are happy on what they're achieving. But there are certain parents who feel they want to decide on behalf of their kids, and they unknowingly put their expectations on kids.
Okay.
Let me share an example. So suppose if there is a parent, they had a vision that they want to make this child, maybe they want to crack JEE, and they have certain expectations on percentages followed by institutions, universities. So the first important pressure that actually builds in, the child's head is disappointing parents.
Yes.
So if I'm not able to get that, so the child really feels, what if I don't get it? I may disappoint my parent.
I'll let them down.
True.
Yes.
Additionally, if you see in today's world, all of us are connected by social media. So, one more thing that I have observed is peer pressure. So the first question as soon as you get the results is, hey, how much did you score? And based on that, eventually a mindset has been framed. Whether I qualify for this institution? No. Whether I qualify for this course? I'm not sure. Can I really say this percentage to my relatives? Oh God. So what happens is, even if it's a child who is extrovert or an introvert, everything the person starts suppressing to himself or herself.
Otherwise, that pressure of I'm not good enough, I think that is what actually kills the childhood, the entire future also, I think.
Very true.
Gandhali, we have also, as teachers, when we meet parents, we realize that there is a lot of pressure which parents put on their children, knowingly and unknowingly. Even most of the time they are also unaware what they are doing to their own child. Have you felt that in your in your group, and is there a competitive feeling amongst the parents?
I think I have seen it. So I have been a parent for 18 years. My daughter is 18 now. And I'm just seeing it increasing every year. When my 18-year-old went through her schooling, first, second, third standard, I didn't see that much competition or a discussion about marks or grades. It was more about, which sports they are doing and what kids are doing. But more and more, I'm seeing that, we all are, and I think I don't want to just call out other parents. We all are very much into, my child did this, my child did these Olympiads or did spell bees and all. While it's good and we as parents like to share obviously the achievements of children, somewhere it should not be creating a competitiveness within the group of kids, right?
Yeah, yes.
So there are times even I have faulted as a parent where I've told my son that, hey, why didn't you, give this exam? It looks really good. And he just plainly told me, because I didn't want to. And, that is where it's a parenting, every day, a parenting lesson that where you need to step back and where you need to understand that even your small comments or, when you are telling them about their friends, are you creating that competitiveness in them unnecessarily, or you are just making it a very casual, a good kind of remark that, hey, your friend did this. So I think that balance, even I have learned it over times, that, you have to make sure how you're putting it to kids. And that could be one part of the unintentional pressure that we put on our kids.
Yeah. What about you, Harsh? I'm sure you have handled this day in, day out in your practice.
Let me share you an example. I met a parent. So the father happened to visit the open house to see the results. The father came consistently for 3 years. After that, the father stopped coming. So the teachers and the school was also just trying to ask that, sir, why you're not coming? We do see your wife is coming. So there was a simple comment by the parent, and the father said, I was expecting him to score more than 90, but I think he doesn't have the potential. So when we talk about hidden pressure, the words that we use, those also create an unsaid expectations. This may also result into two important things. Somewhere you may be enhancing the person to withdraw. Because suppose if there is an expectation from me, and if I'm not able to deliver, my hero, my father is not happy.
Yes.
Soon I will just feel that I'm not good enough. And if I'm not good enough, so eventually my internal energy will stop performing.
Yes.
And soon I will have a distraction. You can name this distraction as mobile phones. You can name this distraction as friends or something different.
Or some other extremes, There are so many things which children get into because of all that. So all this must be leaving some kind of trauma on the child, which would probably impact his entire future.
Very true. He will never give his 100% to actually achieve or prove himself that he can do well. So the confidence levels will go down. The child will also always continuously feel that he is not good enough. Then the validation factor will increase. You will seek someone, maybe a psychologist, maybe a friend, maybe a family member, that I want to validate I'm good enough. And that is one more thing, unknowingly, the child is now seeking that validation out from the family.
Yes. Yeah, I understand.
So
that.
unknowingly, this unsaid pressure
Mm,
is somewhere creating a sense of trust issues in child.
okay.
And if it is not cured at the right time, it may create a scar in the brain of that particular person, which may eventually, if not proven in the right way, may lead to certain traumatic experiences.
So we have also realized that the upcoming generation, the new generation, is very different from what we have handled kids probably 25 years back or 30 years back. So do you feel that there is importance of emotional vocabulary and communication skills even today? And specifically for parents who are handling introvert kids?
It really matters. Today's generation, I would say, is more aware. Suppose if you're watching a movie, you know you've paid for this movie and you're just watching this movie. While watching the movie, as you're so engrossed, naturally you will start feeling the pain of those characters. This is the loop of the brain. But a child who is maybe 7 years, 8 years, 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, that particular person doesn't know this difference. So what happens is, when you're using an extreme word, you're worthless. You should not have been born in my house. You don't consider a place here. When I was in your age, I was doing wonders of life. It's a good thing. You are trying to somewhere motivate. But this motivation eventually is taken in the right way is very important. Because when we talk about emotional vocabulary, it's more about feelings. And the child may absorb those extreme words and then naturally behave either I'm too good or I'm too bad.
In India, we have seen a lot of struggle all around us.
True.
We all came with modest background, our fathers, forefathers, they were not very, very comfortable, financially, agrarian-based economy. So I think it's quite deep-rooted, and it is basically our insecurities that we push on our children. So my next question is to you, Gandhali. We've seen there's a constant tension between wanting the best for your child and accidentally adding that burden to your child, And how did you navigate through all of that?
I just love this question actually. I think as a parent, I'm also said that many times that I want the best things for my kid. I'm working so hard. That's the
I
goal
think
of
that's
the
parent
life. That's the
psychology.
parent psychology,
Yeah.
right? I think what we miss is the crux of this is who is defining that best. Is it me as a parent who is defining what's best for my kid, or are we making our kids capable enough to make those choices for themselves and respecting those choices? And I'll share a very personal example. Me and my husband, we both are engineers by profession. My daughter was always very good at maths. She loved maths. Somewhere in back of my mind, it was always that, she would be very good fit for the engineering profession that I'm very comfortable with. But I think somewhere in 9th-10th standard, when we have these discussions, right? What do you want to become? What are the exams you want to prepare for? Once she suddenly told me, I love biology. And it came as I wouldn't say
Surprise.
shock, but a surprise for me.
Surprise.
And, I went into the normal parent trap of giving the very practical advice to her that play to your strength. Maths is always your best subject. Why would you want to do something which is you're good at, you're liking, but probably not you're best at?
More career options with math.
There are many options with math, right? And I could see her withdrawing a little bit because she is a child again who is a little introvert. She is not a very forceful child, and she actually second guessed herself. But next few months, I saw her increase, her interest increasing in biology. And that's where it was a big realization for me as a parent that, I have to let her decide, right? So instead of asking, why are you not looking at maths? I started asking questions like, why are you liking biology? Or what is that you are liking about biology? And then she would talk about proteins, amino acid, something called central dogma, which I still don't have any idea about. But I could see the passion. And that's when, again, it was a very real life parenting lesson for me and my husband both, that she really wants to do this and we should support her. And 4 years down the line today, she has finished 12th and she is going to major into biology with a specialization in bioinformatics, which is exactly at the crossroad of biology and maths, which are
True.
both her love and her strength. So I think if I wouldn't have let her do it today, probably she would have been doing something which she didn't want
Yes.
so passionately,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I think if we let children decide what they want to do, what they want to be, they enjoy that process of going through the exams or going through the preparation. And I don't think then that will add that much burden to them. So I think that was a big parenting lesson for me, and that's how I navigated it.
Wonderful. So I have a friend, and her daughter wanted to do cosmetology scientist or something. She kept asking me, Kavita, what is she doing? I said, I have no idea. That they are differently wired. They are independent human beings,
Yes,
They
yes.
have their own very strong likes and dislikes.
True.
So we have to just play the role of nurturers now,
Yeah.
I think that is the best for the child. But I think we do go through all those worries and, what is my child going to do finally, because I don't understand that the child is too young.
Yes.
True.
So that protective nature of a parent comes into the being. Yeah.
I think it's also because we as parents don't know what are the professional paths for many of these careers ahead,
True.
right?
Yes.
And I think now we are realizing that with an advent of AI and all this, the professional paths that we knew as of past are actually going to completely change. So I think we should really let our kids explore and build the new paths going forward.
So, how do you think, Harsh? Those who are around children should have that, encouragement versus expectation. How do they handle that? Like, it can be teachers, parents, So it is both the school world as well as their home. We have to handle this together for
True.
children. So, any tips over there?
My first suggestion is we can be real to the child so that the child really understands where I'm good and where I really need help. Let's take an example. There are a lot of psychometric testing.
Yeah.
For example, there is a very good psychometric testing which I would encourage parents to take when they are struggling on careers. The name of the test is Holden's Code. It's a very nice test where it's gonna give you results on a lot of expectations, starting from certain expectations the child has learned and certain expectations that he deserves or demands to learn. So first, realistic results are very important. Second, I would encourage all the parents to also take up a personality testing. Let me give you an example. Suppose I want to be a doctor, right? I have the right brain, my family is with me, but what if I cannot see blood?
Okay.
If I see blood, I may faint.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yes.
So suppose
Your personality is not supporting that decision of yours.
Correct. So suppose if you see blood and if you just faint, so eventually, you are going into a career which after some time you will just, you'll not be happy with. The child is growing. Sometimes I've come across parents, they do not change their parenting methods. For example, the way they started at 0 to 5,
Yes.
they remain the same from 5 to 10. And suddenly they come that my child doesn't listen to me.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
So that parenting method has to be changed. The third thing that I will say, first, as I said, be real. The tests are going to give you real thing. Second is changes in parenting. And the third thing that I will suggest, if the schools and parents are okay, there should be certain fixed guidance sessions which the schools or parents should participate and be with.
Yeah.
So which means that guidance sessions, if teachers and parents can collaborate, maybe once in a month or maybe once in 3 months, once in 6 months, if the schools are able to do it, this is going to make the child more aware about that where are the right places I can ask for guidance and where are the right places I can ask for support. So if that is there.
I agree to that because I
Yeah.
use those tests, both personality and
Correct.
the other, what we call it, where
Career.
they, yeah. And in fact, that counselor helped her, my daughter, visualize what kind of life she would want, you know, whether you want to stay in a city or a small place. Are you, do you visualize yourself working in an office or a small startup, and many different questions. So it's not just their career choices, their capabilities, but also what kind of life they are looking towards, right? And I think that helped her really make the choices or make the career decision in a more holistic way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So most of the time, I have seen parents visualizing that for their own children. They start visualizing, okay, my son may be very good in basketball in school, but is there a future here? What will he do later? So let me push him towards academics more. This happens all the time in India.
Yes.
That is why probably we have very few people doing so well in sports, because that kind of parental support is still lacking somewhere in our society. So far, quite an insightful conversation, I think, from both of you. I have ended up learning so much. So I think we began by asking what lies beneath board results. But now, what next? After everything we have covered today and we were chatting about, what do you each believe need to change most urgently in homes and in schools? Maybe Gandhali, you can start.
I think for me, the thing that needs to change really, really urgently is parents should stop deciding for their kids. I think that's the need of the hour. I still see so many kids going through NEET and going through JEE preps when they do not want to be doctors or engineers just because it's the norm, right? I think we should make sure that our kids are making their decisions at an early age. We should enable them. We should help them understand the pros and cons. Some decisions might go wrong. We should let them learn from it and we should respect their decisions. We are making it so that these marks and these entire academics and external exams are so important that when the child is not able to make the ranks, it's not good enough, right? And I think that is where we are not building the children who are resilient, because as parent, I might remove all the problems from their life today. But when they grow up as adults, they have to live their own life. They are going to struggle and they are going to learn from it. So failure, I feel, is as important as success, and kids should taste both and learn from both. And I think as parents, we are doing a really bad job of it. We are shielding them so much from everything that they don't really know what a struggle could look like. So I think that is what we need to change urgently.
I think how to handle failure. That becomes
How to handle failure.
Yeah.
You put it very rightly.
That becomes very important, but we also know that it is easier said than done.
Yes.
Right,
Very
Harsh?
true. We all are humans, and there's a very nice thing which is mentioned in an 8th standard science textbook. Man is a social animal.
Yes.
We all
Yeah,
remember that.
Yes.
So if we really want our kids to become better, there is only one good method, therapy, that I'll suggest. Listen to them.
Yeah.
Do not give them advice until not asked.
And don't be judgmental.
Don't be judgmental.
Yeah.
Because we like to be heard,
Yes.
right? You create, there's a very nice method in a part of child psychology where we ask the parent to just be a listener. So my suggestion to the parents is you are their heroes. And to ensure that you remain heroes, I know it's a hard work.
Yeah. You have to earn that.
So just lend them a ear.
Yeah.
And if you can listen to them maybe 15 minutes in a day or maybe once in a week for an hour, that would actually open up a lot of doors. And definitely you'll not need a professional. It's you and the child who are the most comfortable at that time.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, Harsh, but I think as a parent and as a teacher, I've always felt that we need to talk,
Yes.
just have conversations, and that too, not treating the child like a child, but as a friend, someone who is equal to you. I have seen some of my class-related problems getting solved because of that. And they started confiding in me, about a lot of things. So I always felt that conversation probably may be one of the tools, Parents try to do other things because they don't have time today to get into that kind
Very
of
true.
conversation.
Yes. I completely agree with you because my daughter always likes to, in her words, chat off my ears. She wants to tell me everything, and sometimes I'm like, okay, give me 5-minute break. But that actually let me understand her so
Yes.
much, because they will, when they are small, they will come and tell you everything and anything that is happening in their classroom with their friends, but you pick up signals from there, right? And you just get to know your child a lot when you listen. So good advice, great advice, I
Yes.
think, for all of
Which
us
you're
parents.
already doing. So anyway, it was really very, very interesting, insightful, and refreshing chatting with both of you. So I really want to thank Harsh Pandya for bringing so much of clarity and depth to this topic for us. And I want to thank you, Gandhali, for the kind of honesty that it takes real courage to be different from others, because you are doing very well as a parent, I must say. Thank you both
Thank you. ma'am.
Thank you.
for
Thank you.
coming here. It was a pleasure having you.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Tell me, whoa, tell me,